Hi, I'm Jim and I was retired. Now I'm a DIY retiree and I'm a firm believer that you are your own best fiduciary. Beware any organization that claims to be offering unbiased advice on your retirement plans. A lawsuit was filed against TIAA and Morningstar, alleging that a tool that they developed for 403B plan participants offered biased advice. So, can you trust a tool your retirement plan provides? Stay tuned. Now, this is the article that appeared in my newsfeed this morning. And yes, even though I don't have a 403B from TIAA, it caught my attention because I'm sure there are similar questions that we can all ask about the tools that are being provided by our retirement plan providers. A new lawsuit against TIAA is alleging the sorts of abuses with annuities that a new fiduciary standard for retirement advisors is intended to prevent. And I'll get to that a little bit later. A putative class action filed on Monday in federal court in New York accuses TIAA and the financial services firm Morningstar of developing a system that directed retirement savers into expensive annuity products without taking into account their individual needs and goals. Now, the suit, filed on behalf of four current and former university employees, states that the two defendant firms worked together on something called the Retirement Advisor Field View Tool to provide retirement investing advice. The complaint alleges that the system was secretly designed to direct retirement savings into TIA's two most lucrative products, the TIA traditional annuity and the TIA real estate account. Retirement Advisor Field View System, according to the lawsuit, was coded to place the TIA traditional annuity in 6 out of 7 recommended retirement plans, regardless of individual customer needs and goals. And the TIA real estate account, an annuity product built around real estate investments, was given an 8 to 9% allocation in every saver's plan, according to the lawsuit. Many of the abuses, according to the suit, stem from TIA's position as the record keeper for many retirement plans. And since 2023, the complaint alleges TIAA has directed its financial consultants to reach out to roughly 655,000 savers whose investment portfolios were deemed underweight in the firm's annuity products. The suit also says that the consultants' annual bonuses were tied to their ability to persuade clients to invest in the traditional annuity or the real estate account. Now, a spokesperson for TIAA says the lawsuit is without merit and the firm is planning to defend itself vigorously. Now, the suit against TIAA and Morningstar alleges that the firms violated the fiduciary duty by not adequately disclosing the conflicts of interest and the fees that they would generate from recommending those certain products. Now, this isn't the first time that TIAA has faced similar accusations. In 2021, the firm's TIAA CREF, the individual and institutional services, reached a $97 million settlement with the SEC over allegations that it failed to disclose conflicts in retirement rollover recommendations. And in February, it agreed to pay the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority $2.2 million after being accused of violating the brokerage industry's Regulation Best Interest, or Reg BI, by failing to let clients know of lower cost alternatives to mutual fund products it was recommending. Now, the Reg BI generally calls for brokers to do what's in the best interest of their clients and disclose conflicts of interest. Now, if you recall, earlier this year, the Department of Labor put out a new fiduciary rule and specifically was targeting and trying to create a fiduciary responsibility for more and more providers of retirement plans. Interestingly, 403Bs weren't covered in that new fiduciary rule. You might remember as well that I put out this video when that new fiduciary rule came out. And again, I believe that DIY is your best protection. Well, this morning, the insurance industry is winning in its fight to kill these new fiduciary rule protections for retirement savers. Advisors are still promoting annuities with big commissions that could eat into your returns in your retirement savings. Now, the high-stake battle centers on this new standard for financial advice, a fiduciary rule, that affects nearly $1 trillion a year rolled over from employer-sponsored 401ks to individual retirement accounts. The new Labor Department rule would require advisors on IRAs to recommend what is best for the saver and avoid misrepresentations and excess charges. Now, this was meant to curb commissions on annuities, but you notice it was focused on 401ks rolling over to IRAs and not 403Bs at all. Now, a dozen industry groups are suing the government, saying it lacks the legal authority to create these new protections under the Department of Labor. Insurers and agents are fighting for their rights to keep ripping off clients with biased advice and high-sky commissions, said Joseph Pfeiffer, president of the Public Investors Advocate Bar Association, lawyers who want to get a piece of the action. Truthfully, annuities are risky things, and you should not go into an annuity unless you know what you are looking for. But this whole focus on attacking rollover annuities and only those in a 401k to IRA situation is really trying to pick winners and losers. The insurers counter that the new rule would limit choices for consumers. This new rule would deprive millions of consumers access to much-needed retirement financial advice, said the American Council of Life Insurers. Now down here, it notes that late last month, Texas judges overseeing two industry group lawsuits agreed to stay implementation of the new fiduciary rule, which had been slated to take effect next month in September. In one ruling, a judge said the industry's case is virtually certain to succeed on its merits. So I believe there's going to be a lot of wrangling here before any fiduciary rule takes effect. In the meantime, you're your best fiduciary. Now, all of this reminded me of the Sabre travel reservation system. What? That's a strange trip, but hear me out. This was a tool created by a service provider, an airliner. And you may recall it. You may have used it in your business career. Well, it had its own controversies. A 1982 study by American Airlines found that the travel agents selected the flight appearing in the first line more than half the time, and 92% of the time the selected flight was on its first screen. So that provided a huge incentive for American to manipulate its ranking formula or even corrupt the search algorithm underneath outright to favor American flights over its competitors on the Sabre system. And apparently, the airline did not resist the temptation. Congress had to eventually take action to protect consumers. Now, I should point out that in addition to Congress taking action and American divesting the Sabre system so that it's not owned directly by any of the airlines now, other things created more competition for the consumer and gave consumers better tools for selecting the best flights. And I use many of those now. Many in the financial planning industry would argue that you need a fee-only financial planner to help you navigate these tools to avoid problems like the ones that were cited in the 403B plans. But I believe that the best course of action is for you to understand your retirement plan, how it works, what are the products offered in it, more importantly, how you get money out of it and into your hands so that you can roll over into a retirement plan you control. Now, when I rolled over my 401k funds and old IRAs into a Schwab rollover IRA, I took direct control over how my money is invested for my DIY retirement. Now, Schwab has its own tools, and some of them will steer you towards Schwab's investments first. But you can use those tools and understand how to broaden the search so that you get the best product for what you want to do with your retirement plan. Now, I will conclude with my standard warning. I am not a professional planner or a travel agent. I have no initials after my name. So take these as entertaining ideas from one educated consumer to another. Always do your own due diligence and seek out a professional if you need one.